welcome to episode 98 of Checkpoint Chat. My name is Alessandro Barbosa, joined by Matthew Figueroa.
By me from the other side of the planet.
From
Johannesburg.
Yeah.
Far
Well,
east.
Johannesburg is big.
Actually, I'm central now. It is pretty big. I mean, it's.
Are you central? You're more northern.
Nah, no. I'm north central. if you want to get technical here.
So what's northern suburbs like? Four ways.
Northgate.
Fuck off. Northgate is too north of north.
It's so north. I don't know. Four ways is north. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not there. I'm far from Four Ways, and
Four ways
like
is
15,
where
20
everyone
minutes
says
from
you
both.
should be living, but no one actually wants to live there.
no one actually wants to live in Four Ways.
All
I mean,
that traffic, all the time.
Yeah, all the traffic and more traffic. No one wants to live there.
No one wants to
Listen,
live there, and everyone goes to work there. So it's like, no.
I work in Four Ways, and it's
I know.
let me tell you, it's far. It's so far. But
It's
yeah.
still weird to me that there isn't like a car train station in that like side of the world, because I feel like so many people commute from there into like Sandton or.
Are there any plans to make a car train station there though? Surely.
I think I've
at
heard
some
there have been
stage.
plans for like years, but
Rumours,
I don't know if
actual
that's going to
rumours.
happen. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. They
no one's
also
using-
want to open another station like nearer to me, which makes no sense. They're like, yeah, there's plans to open a station by East Rand Mall, and I'm like, that's literally
Yeah.
2-3 minutes away from the one at the airport. Like, what is the point of that?
It's convenience, man.
No, it's stupid. Well, it would be convenient to me, but still stupid.
Yeah. You could just walk to the car train at East Rand Mall and car train to the airport when you want to travel.
I literally could. It's like 6 Ks away. I could just
6 Ks. Holy shit! It's further to go to the car train station is to the airport.
I'd just clap
Basically.
a nice jog and then get on a train to get on a
sweaty
flight.
train, yeah, and then
By the time I land in America, I smell like I've died.
Great, nice man, like you've died.
Also, I'd have to run with all my luggage, which would be pretty hard.
Unless you had wheels on your bags. But no one's gonna be traveling anytime soon. But
A
yes,
bag like that would not survive a 5K run.
I don't know, man. I've been to Gamescom. The first Gamescom I did with Jeff and Zoe. Holy shit, did we have to walk? Because we did not. I don't know. I can't remember what the context was, but something like the place we're staying was like maybe on the outskirts, or we didn't really want to take transport. We walked a lot with roller bags. It was a great / the worst time ever.
And that city is mostly like cobblestones.
And
so
and it was hot. And I was the
damn hot
intern
there.
with Jeff and Zoe, and I don't want to die.
Did they make you carry their bags?
No, thank God. I think it did cross Jeff's mind many times.
He's like, hey, intern.
Hey, you new here, carry my shit. No, thankfully that didn't happen.
When I was there the first and only time. I think the first night I didn't, because all the other nights I stayed with you at that fancy hotel, but I was there the night before with Gareth Woods and Graham, and we also walked so far, like to
All the
find the
time.
hotel that was actually just like across the road from the expo center.
I know. Why did you walk so far?
I don't know, because the train station is at that like in the center of the city by that like church.
Yeah.
So we walked from
I know
there.
exactly. Oh my God.
Yeah, that
Shit.
was. We were like, oh, it's a short walk. No.
Well, what's nice though about lots of European cities in general is that things are within walking distance, but people underestimate how far a walk can be. It's like it's only
true.
5 Ks away. That's going to take an hour to walk 5 Ks.
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
more. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Although that Gamescom we were at, we walked quite a bit though. I remember
did,
us
yeah.
walking a lot. Yeah. Although that tram system aces there, so
Tram
good.
system's great.
So good.
I was so worried about getting the wrong train there when we left. But, I mean,
Oh yeah,
listen,
because you went to a different place than me. Yeah.
Yeah, I was flying from some other I think Düsseldorf. Or
Düsseldorf,
something.
yeah.
Like I don't know why. That's just the way the trip was planned.
It was so weird.
But like I've been fortunate enough to pop into a few European cities, and for the most part they're pretty straightforward to navigate. But I don't know, something about Cologne and the Germans that like it scares me. Like I don't want to talk to anyone. They're very intimidating.
I got quite lucky because I flew into Schiphol, so Amsterdam, and then took a train from there to Cologne.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
luckily, on the same flight as me was Graham, because when I got to Schiphol, none of my cards were working, and I needed to buy a train ticket.
Shit.
Yeah, so luckily he was there and helped me out, because if he wasn't, I'd be fucked.
You'd be screwed. You could be living there still today.
Because it was a weekend, so the banks were closed. They were not dealing with my shit.
No.
Yeah,
They weren't dealing with anyone's shit.
it was potentially really bad, but yeah.
I think a lot of travel stories are a combination of joy and exploration and pure luck and coincidence with stuff like that. Because oh my god, imagine you were stuck. Holy shit!
I've never been as frightened traveling. Like generally, when I'm overseas, like you figure things out eventually. But I've never. Well, okay, I've only stressed like completely once, and that was actually on the way back from Gamescom. You had gone to Dusseldorf, and I had already trained back to Schiphol, and then I was staying at a hotel that was nearby the airport. So I got on a bus thing that was supposed to take me past like all the hotels.
Yeah.
And then it didn't take me to where I needed to. And then it just started driving away from the airport.
And it took you to
And
the
I was
red light
like,
district. You're like, oh, what?
So then I just got off at like the earliest stop in like the suburb. I had no idea where the fuck I was. And I had no internet because now my SIM card wasn't working.
It wasn't working, yeah.
Yeah, so I had no internet to figure out where I was. So then I was like, okay, I saw like a train station. I'm like, I'm sure one of these must go to the airport. And then like all the stations that I was walking to, they were closed for construction. So I spent like a good 3 hours walking around this little suburb trying to figure out how the fuck I'm getting back to the airport.
3 hours?
And eventually it's
Jesus.
starting to get dark because it's like the evening. And I'm like, I'm fucked. Like I can't phone anyone.
This is
I
how
can't
I
Google
die.
anything. I'm fucked. And finally I found a way to get on the train, pay a lot of money to get back to the airport. Then I was basically back at square one. I was like, I still don't know how to get to my hotel.
Oh, no.
And then I eventually got there about like 4-5 hours after I'd actually landed at the airport.
Holy
And the hotel
shit.
was literally maybe 500 meters from the terminal.
Oh, no, that's the worst. Shit. I've had it once where it's not nearly as dramatic as that, but when I went to Madeira in 2009, I traveled by myself to meet family there. So obviously, I think I went via Germany to Portugal, then to Madeira. But at the Portuguese airports, it's usually a thing of, it's straightforward. Like you've got your flight number, you just follow the gates, until you get there. But then everyone I asked is like, yeah, just follow these arrows, I'm like, okay, cool. So follow these arrows, and then the arrows just take me to a door, and then next thing I know, I'm on the main road.
Oh, no.
I'm like, okay. Like, what now? This is not a gate. It's like, so this is the main road. What the shit?
Oh, God.
So I go back in, and I loop all the way back, follow the arrows, and again I end up on the main road. I'm like, something's not right here.
Oh,
But I've asked people, but the thing is, so people in Portugal do speak English, but I don't know what it was. But at that particular day, there was just like no one was speaking English. Like whoever
You're just
asked
like,
was
no.
like, I don't understand you, this, that. Until I found someone who explained, like, no, there's a whole separate terminal. You need to catch a bus to get there. I was like, oh,
I
for
know
shit's sakes.
exactly what
Yeah.
you're talking about, actually. Yeah.
But all the arrows just point. I was like, yeah, here's your gate number, and it takes you to the streets. I'm like, in hindsight, I should have just realized that there's probably a bus or something that takes you.
Yeah.
there. But this is 2009, first time traveling alone. I had no idea. I was like, what
Exactly.
the
And
hell?
our airport doesn't work like that. Like,
No. Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you've you've traveled to London, right?
yeah.
To Heathrow. That airport's got like 5 major terminals.
Mm-hmm.
And they like a car drive away from each other. They're
Oh, yeah.
massive. So
Yeah. They
you
even
end up-
estimate, like, if your gate is here, how long it will take to walk there. Like,
yeah, they have a whole train system to get between the terminals.
Yeah. I think Dubai airport as well has that. But I know exactly what you mean, because when I went to Madeira for your wedding, I was also like landed in Lisbon. I was just like,
Yeah, you're like, where do I
where
go?
the fuck? Yeah. And then the little terminal you go to for the flights to Madeira is like, it feels like just this like empty hangar that's been made into like a little airport
Yeah,
terminal.
it's a little
so
airport,
small.
Yeah,
It's so small.
Lord. It's
Yeah.
fine. It worked, which is great.
Uh, this checkpoint chat when we're not talking about air disasters. Oh, Maddie's got coffee. We're talking about games and Maddie's coffee.
I've got Seattle coffee, thank you.
Is it a cappuccino?
What is this? It's a cappuccino.
Hi, Lenska.
What is this?
Is that a crunchy?
Is this a crunchy? Yum. I don't mind, thank you.
I got to send you a crunchy recipe as well. Be making crunchies at home.
Oh my.
Been just really getting fat. Everyone's just baking. Made pastéis de nata, made crunchies, banana bread.
I've even tried my hand in making bread. No, I thought it came up.
See, that's the one thing I haven't done is just make normal bread. I need to do that.
I have a super easy recipe if you want to try.
I love fresh bread so much. Is it just normal bread, like not sourdough? Because I know sourdough is like hard.
It's actually like it's called pot bread, like Afrikaans bread, I guess. You make it. I don't know if you need it specifically. You could probably just use an oven tray, but we use a little pot we have, and you bake the bread in there, and it's a round loaf that comes out. I think you just it's pretty straightforward. But what we add is I think it's rosemary. Could be wrong. Oh, and it's just delicious.
And you just like tear it apart, put some butter on there.
Oh, it's some good stuff, yeah.
Oh my god, fresh bread is like one of the best things.
Let's trade recipes. Let's be lockdown buddies and trade.
Done.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's gone their hand at baking. Like that's just everybody's thing now. Either that or making beer, like one of the two.
Yeah, pineapple beer. That's the next thing we got to make.
Yeah.
So
we talk about video games here.
Video games.
And illegal alcohol break. Well, it's not illegal to make your own pineapple beer, I guess, but
no,
it's illegal to sell it.
It is illegal to sell it. Can confirm.
Yeah. Why?
We talk about
confirm?
games.
Did you go to jail for that?
I did not go to jail.
Fantastic.
I did not. I wasn't even paying attention. I just said I can confirm.
Yeah, I was like, what? You can confirm you're going to jail? What?
Which is a dangerous thing to just throw out. Like, yes.
Yeah, exactly. You're at a murder trial, and it's like, did you kill this person?
I can confirm that the Earth is. Good Lord.
Video games. Last week we played a lot of that Predator Hunting Grounds, and just a small update on that. That game still sucks, but it is a lot better when you have a party of 5 people. I think when we played. Better. Yeah, we played with a party of 5 people, and we were just doing like a round robin of who was Predator, like 100 times better because there's no stupid lobby wait times. You actually get a chance to play as the Predator, which is fun, and because you're all on the same sort of skill level, it feels tense and exciting. Yeah. But playing that game, even just with 2 people trying to find games online, is an infuriating experience.
Actual pain in the butts.
Yeah, actual pain. The game's got so many issues. Yeah, and I just don't think, considering it's one game mode, with matches that last maybe 10 minutes, it's just not worth the price. Like I don't. There's very little value in that game to me.
I think it's a typical case study though of it's. Like not most games, but a lot of games do tend to come out in like not a bad state, but a poorer state than they can be in. And then after a year or two, a few months of patches, it sort of gets better. I mean, depends how much they support the game.
I definitely see the potential in that game, especially like the care taken with designing the gameplay for the Predator, I think is really good. I think like moving around as the Predator and his weapons and stuff, I think it feels really empowering.
I love moving through the trees with the Predator.
Oh, it's so
it works perfectly, yeah.
That is like one of the best parts of the game. Minus that little leap that you have on L1, that thing's really bad and awkward.
It's garbage, yeah.
But it's you see, that's like that component of the game is really good, but then when you're playing as a human, it's like the shooting is really just serviceable. There's nothing really good about it, and the little like missions that you put on every game are really repetitive and boring.
Just on the shooting, I feel, and I know it's not a fair thing to do, but when you compare it to games like Apex and Call of Duty, for example, just the fact it feels clunky, and I know it's got to do with the FPS as well. It feels like sluggish.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if the game just I imagine it would feel better on PC.
Yeah, it honestly just feels like, because we both played on PS4, it just feels like you're trying to like move through like molasses all the time.
Yeah.
It's not snappy and not responsive. It's not what I expect a first-person shooter to feel like. And like you said, like you playing on a base PS4 and I played on a Pro, and we both had so many technical problems. Like the frame rate is absolute trash.
Yeah, it drops a lot.
The amount of times, like every time, and I noticed it when we were playing in that round robin thing, every time the predator jumped from the trees into us, like where things started getting chaotic, my game just momentarily froze for like a second.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the wrong time for that shit to happen.
This is when it should not freeze.
Yeah.
This is when
I'm
but look,
glad to be done with that game, put it that way.
Yeah, but like you said, the game is fun with a group of friends. So, but I mean, how much is it? Is it $20, $30?
Yeah, even then, it's so limited. Like, we played that one session of 2 hours, and I'm like, cool, I feel like I got my fun from this game. Like, it's not a thing where I'm, like, looking forward to it every evening to kind of get back to it. And I feel like the same happened with everyone else. We were all like, oh, yeah, we'll make plans for the week, and no one fucking mentioned anything.
One followed up, yeah. I think it'll be fun to revisit it in, like, a year, maybe 6 months, see how things have changed. But I agree, like I've had my full and I've had no like pull to go back or no desire really.
Yeah.
But like again, I can see its merits in what the game is and what it tries to do. It just doesn't do it very well, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I agree. I posted my review yesterday on GameSpot, gave it a 4 out of 10.
It's Rust levels of bad. Damn.
No, Rust is 3 out of 10.
Oh, it's Rust 3 out of 10. Holy shit.
It's been a bad month for me. I did Fallout 76, which was 5 out of 10.
Oh, no.
Predator, which was 4.
What's next on the bad list?
Yeah, well, you see, there can't be something next on the bad list because there's like hardly any games coming out. It's bizarre.
I know. Yeah,
which is fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, it gives you time to play other games now.
Oh, good lord.
Like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, I need to get on that. But before I start that, I'm wrapping up some games that I've started and just want to like finish quickly. So the main one there is Half-Life Alyx.
Animal Crossing. Oh yes, okay. Half-Life.
Animal Crossing has no end. It's
Do you
it's
have
a way
that
of life.
5-star rating on your island yet?
Not yet. I need to get terraforming.
You see.
All I'm doing in Animal Crossing now is just making stupid amounts of money on turnips.
I know the turnip. Hey, what's tomorrow? That's right, it's turnip day.
Hey, and I got my
ready.
spike this week, so now I've got to.
Oh shit!
Let me tell you, the online in that game is not suited to inviting a lot of people to your island for like mass selling of turnips.
So I mean, we can talk about that very briefly. I know we talk about Animal Crossing a lot, but do blame us. The game is, like you said, a way of life. I mean, how many weeks have you been playing it now? 6 weeks? 7 weeks?
Since because it launched on the 20th of March or something like that.
Yeah, and I've still played every day. Like even if it's 20 minutes to an hour, 2 hours, I'll always find time to play it. And it's just, it's good fun, man. It warms my little heart.
that music just makes my day. Like when I hear that music come on, I'm like, I'm home.
Yeah, but it's so funny. Like just little moments in that game always make me appreciate it. So yesterday I was watching Lenska play, and she walked into her village square, and there was just 3 or 4 of her villagers just having a little barbecue, just chilling.
That's
I was
cute.
like, what? That's never happened on my island. I see stuff happen in her game that hasn't happened in mine, and it's amazing that like. She's got terraforming and I don't, but I've got a bigger Nook store and she doesn't. Like we've just unlocked stuff differently in that game. So it's interesting how we've clearly triggered different events in different sequences. We've had slightly different experiences. But yeah, sorry, on the online is it's a pain.
Trash.
Like there are times when Nintendo really shines. Like when they do games like Breath of the Wild and Animal Crossing and Mario Odyssey, like, wow, this is groundbreaking stuff. Like, it's polished, it's good Nintendo charm, but then it's held back by online stuff which makes no sense. Like, the fact that the Switch still demands, like, if we didn't have Discord, for example, not that we ever, like, hang out on each other's islands, but if we did, we'd need that mobile app, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. But then on Animal Crossing, if you want to come visit my island, I have to stop everything I'm doing, wait for you to load in. And I've since learned, because you gave me a gift the other day, and I was like, I'm going to put it in the pathway as a joke, But while you were gone, while you were there, I tried to move it or put it down. It's like, you can't do that. You've got people here.
Yeah.
So you can't even like put items, move items. So I was like, that kind of defeats the purpose of multiplayer, because I considered getting another copy for Lenska and I to play together. But what are we going to do? We're going to walk around each other's islands and
Exactly.
do nothing. So
Exactly. Like you can visit each other's islands and be like, oh, this is nice and whatever, but like that's it. It's on the surface level. You're just going to be walking around each other's island. Like
yeah,
it's
I know. Like you would know. Obviously, you have more insight into this, but no, because you've obviously got a gaming development background and knowledge. Like, how nice would it be if I launched my game and by default I could have my airport gates open?
yeah.
And I'm just running around and somebody just seamlessly loads in. I go, oh shit, like, hey, you're on my island. Like, hey, how's it going? Like, you just appeared, you loaded in. I don't have to wait and do funny things just to, get people to come visit.
Or like I don't mind having to manually open my island because it's like, okay, cool. Now I know to expect people. But the thing that bugs me is that every time someone loads in, it's like it fades to black, shows like a fucking long loading screen, and then loads the person in. And then when someone leaves, it does the exact same thing. So like if you're inviting multiple people over at once, not only can they only come in one at a time, it's like they all have to sit through that same animation waiting for things to happen.
I've done it when I sell turnips. I load into the island. I'm busy running to the store. Someone else loads in.
Yeah.
So I wait. I'm like, okay, cool. They load in. I get into the store. I'm about to start selling. And it's like, no, close your chat window. Someone else is about to land.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And if you don't close your chat window, it does something even worse. It just forces you, like, it happened to one person who was visiting the island. I don't think someone realized that they needed to close the window. So it started like a countdown. And then when it got to 0, it says this person silently left the island. So what it does then is it resets the state of the island. So if you had sold turnips or if you had dropped something or if you'd done, it gets put back in your pocket. So it's like, what the hell?
Shit.
Like, what is going on here?
There's stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know. Because, there's like a laundry list. There was that video going around this week of cool
The quality of life
optimizations.
things.
Yeah. I don't know how hard some of that stuff is to program in. Like the multiplayer stuff, I know it's not a thing of like just coding in a few lines to make it work. But some of the quality of life stuff, like doing multiple items with one
Oh my God.
thing, like I can't imagine
that.
that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. I can't, and just like there were small things in there that made such a difference. Like if you're
Build out
using
your
a
inventory.
workbench in your house, then it will pull resources from your
Yeah,
house's
like-
storage. Like, yes, please don't make me have to like take it out of my
Manually
storage.
do it. Skip through dialogue. Preach.
Yeah, preach. And the one thing I didn't realize was you can, if you're in your storage menu at home, you can sort your pockets. Like there's a button there to sort it. So
Right.
why can't I just do that every time I open the menu? Just hit
There's
a
a
button and sort
Button
it.
to sort your pockets.
Exactly, right?
Oh my God.
Like the
This
fact
is
that it
life-changing.
exists, not that it's like, okay, cool, we need to find out how we can sort. Like it exists, but it only exists in a certain
in your
place.
house. Good Lord. So look, Animal Crossing, great game, but some parts of it really need to be improved.
Yeah, there's that. It was like a 6-minute video of small quality of life things, and I was
a
like,
lot of detail went into that video.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
and just like every little thing, there was things that I didn't even think of that seemed so simple, like just simple button mapping things, and I was like, fuck, that would make so much sense.
yeah, like the drop items thing.
Oh my God, yeah.
That would actually make such a difference.
Just press a button
But-
to drop an item, press a button to they were like, oh, like go in advanced mode, so it's like you can, what was it, drop and sell items immediately with a press of
Yeah.
a button. Like, oh,
But the article I read made me laugh because it's like, okay, Nintendo, here's the video exists. Your trailer exists. You don't have to make it, just patch it.
yeah,
And then
just
share
patch
this
it in and
video.
use our video.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good time.
Yeah,
But still,
it's
still
really good.
living that Animal Crossing life.
It's good. It's good. What was I talking about? Oh, Half-Life Alyx.
Alyx, sorry.
Yes.
We segued.
Segued into Animal Crossing. So yeah, I sold lots of turnips in Animal Crossing. And then I played Half-Life Alyx a lot last weekend while I was waiting for you mofos to get online for Predator.
Are you done with the game now?
No.
No, it's
It's-
still busy.
Yeah, I mean, it's as long as a normal Half-Life entry. So I'm on chapter 8. I don't know how many there are in total. So I assume I'm like 3/4 of the way through.
Okay.
But it just keeps like surprising me. It's really, really good. I think if you're used to like Half-Life games, obviously not in VR. It's a lot slower. Because you can't sprint as Alyx, you can only walk. You are only taking on a handful of enemies at a time because, of course, you are. And it's got a real like thriller, survival horror vibe to it. I always feel like I have to be managing my ammunition a bit and looking out for more and looking out for resources to upgrade my gun. But at the same time, because it's in VR, it's so much more engrossing. Like, it makes me go into a room and, like, use my hands to shift boxes around or move things, like, look into dustbins and stuff for stuff. So it feels very natural in that sense. It's very cool. But I'm getting to some of the game's, like, bigger set pieces now. A lot of people say, like, past halfway, it really, like, ups the ante and just shows you the best parts of it. And I experienced that last weekend with a level called Jeff, which was unbelievable. So I won't try to give most of it away, but essentially what it is a prolonged sequence where you are circumnavigating a enemy that you cannot kill, called Jeff. And
of course, it's called Jeff. Jeff from HR.
Yeah, he's like the super mutant, and this
you didn't
dude,
do your timesheets.
This dude is just like, because Alex's dialogue is really good. She's like, "What is that?" And this other random guy who you've just saved is like, "Oh, that's Jeff. Just don't let him hear you." And you're like, okay. So he's like, if you played The Last of Us, he's like a clicker. Like, he can't see you, but he can hear everything. So you don't want to be shooting your gun. What's cool is that there's lots of glass bottles around, so you throw them to like distract him. But then Valve also messes with you. Like, there were times where I opened a cabinet because I knew there was ammo in there, and as soon as I opened the cabinet, there was a glass bottle that rolled.
Oh no!
So I could either like react quickly and catch it, or if it broke, then it's like, oh fuck.
Oh god, Jeff's coming.
Yeah, exactly. There are moments in that level that are so good. Like, there's a moment where you need to trap Jeff in like a freezer so that you can open a gate using like one of those valves, those red levers. And you need to lock him in there because the thing makes noise, so you can't do it while he's roaming around. But then you do it, and you get into this elevator which you think is going to work, but the power's out.
I know.
So it's like, okay, cool, I need to use my hacking tool to reroute the power, and I'm busy following the line, because it's like this x-ray thing on the wall to show you where the power line goes so you can reactivate it. And as I'm following it, it goes into the freezer where Jeff is, and I'm just I hate you so much. So I literally have to like sit there, and there's like a latch holding the door closed that I closed. So I literally have to sit there and slowly open the latch, and as soon as I do that, he bursts out in front of me. I'm just I hate Valve so much.
God damn. That's clever though.
It's like so clever. Like, they really understand VR and how that sort of level ratchets up like the tension, because you constantly have to like sit in a corner and watch him like walk past you, and you almost like holding you actually have to hold your breath in game, because he exudes this like toxic gas that makes Alyx cough. And obviously, if you cough, you make noise. So you very literally have to put your hand on your mouth, and then Alyx in games covers her mouth so that Or I found a gas mask, and I was like, I wonder if I can wear this. So I picked it up and put it on my face, and it just like stuck to my face. And I was this is so cool.
See, but this is, I've said this many times now already, but this is what gets me excited, because Valve, I'll say but are this company that are full of good ideas. Like, they were revolutionizing FPSs back in the day, you know? And it's been a long time since they've made a game, and I'm really hoping this is a little kickstart of like, hey, like, let's keep making games. Because, like, honestly, what have they done outside of Artifact for the past like 10, 15 years? Like, they haven't really made much. So
I mean, you could say Dota, but Dota wasn't really them. They kind of like bought Dota.
Valve are really good at taking an existing good, like, I mean, not to take away from Half-Life and Portal and all that. Well, I mean, even Portal was a game that it was someone else's idea that they bought, and they just like, you know, brought to the mainstream audience, so like added their own flavor to it. But Half-Life is like their baby. Yeah. And I really hope that this is like, it sucks that it's VR purely because it limits the the number of people who play it.
Yeah, because
Like,
I
I'll play
expect
it
you
one
wanted to
day.
play
I mean,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll happily wait like 1 to 5 to 10, like whatever it is, I get to play it. But I hope that they see, holy shit, like we actually do have some great ideas. Because I've heard a lot of people say that like Alyx is great, but Jeff is like this showcase level of
Yeah.
how great VR is and what a cool idea. It's like, cool, make Half-Life 3. Or if it's not Half-Life, bring us, what's that other studio? Not Campus, is it Campus Center?
Campo Center, yeah, they worked
Yeah.
on Alyx, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're done with Alyx. Give us Valley of the Gods now. Just make games because you guys are good at making games. You know, not your Artifact, but make
Yeah,
games.
not your Artifact. Maybe
on.
2.0 Artifact, but not
Yeah.
your Artifact.
Yeah,
But yeah, no,
it excites
I
me.
agree. And I think I know there's like work being done to mod Half-Life Alyx into like a normal first-person shooter. And I honestly think it's not going to work.
No, but yeah, even that, like, I know that there's an existing mod, I think, but I don't want to play it like that. I want to play
It's
it
not
as
meant
intended.
like that.
You know?
Yeah, it's really like I can't imagine playing even like this Jeff level just without VR because so much of it is, you know, designed around that feeling. It's like Half-Life Alyx isn't I wouldn't say revolutionary for VR because it still does a lot of the things VR has done before, like first-person shooting and stuff like that. But it's got a level of polish that just makes it the best VR thing I've ever played. Like it is
Yeah.
head and shoulders above anything else of this ilk that I've tried. And then on top of it, now it's getting into territory where it's like, I've never done this in VR. And it's taking parts of games, like stealth parts of games that I've played before and recontextualizing them in a way that would not work without VR. So I'm very happy with it so far. I think the stories are getting to a point where there's like a revelation that's coming that I like desperately need to know what it is. And it's also funny. It's got some of the writers from Portal, so there's like witty banter from
That's
Alyx and her handler. What's his name now? I forgot, but he's a new character. He's like always
cool.
in your ear, and you know he's like a partner. And their banter is really good. So it's got
That's
that
cool.
Half-Life, it's got that Valve flavor to it, you know.
Yeah. I thought you were going to leave it at Valve Flav. I was like, oh my God.
Flavor Flav, yeah, Gabe's Flav.
It's got that Valve Flav, man, yo.
Gabe's. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I it's one of those things where when I'm done with it, I like desperately want to show you how to set it up so you can play it because I think you'll fucking love it as well.
I love it. Well, I'm ready.
The only
I'm
issue is like actually setting it up with the Quest because like
It's like,
man, tethering with the Quest. I know it's in beta, this Oculus Link stuff, but it is a fucking pain. It really is not as easy as it should be. But
yeah. See, that's the thing. I'm happy to wait because, like, while I know there are so many VR games on to play, like Beat Saber alone
oh my,
is a game I desperately want to play, but it's a thing I can wait for. Like, I'm happy to wait another year or two for VR to just be that little bit further along where there's, I mean, 2, 3, 4 years ago, playing wirelessly was not a thing with VR. So it's constantly improving, and I'm glad that because I mean VR, there were attempts to make VR a thing like a decade or two ago, whatever it was, and I think it just didn't catch. But now we're at a point where there is interest in it, maybe not mainstream interest, but they are supporting it. So
I think it's latched on now. Yeah.
yeah, and it's interesting if we could segue to what I've been playing. I've been playing some of The Forest. Are you done with Alyx?
Yeah.
Yes. So the reason I segue into The Forest is that I played some multiplayer Forest this week, and one of the people playing with us was playing in VR.
Yeah, I've heard that there's VR support for it, and I've never tried it. But
so it is actually interesting.
So wait, they were playing with you, and they were in
with
VR.
us in VR.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
just like some context, I've played The Forest on and off many times over the years. I don't know if it was like the alpha or beta, but it was a long time ago when the game was still very much broken.
Yeah, it was an alpha for a very long time.
I played a bit of multiplayer, then I left it. I came back last year, played some co-op with a friend, left it, and then this week we decided, and I think we will carry on playing over the next few weeks, whatever. We started a new multiplayer game together. And it was funny because it was me and 3 other friends just playing. I've never played with that many people. I've only ever played with 2 people. So I just want to say right out the gate, playing with 3 others makes building shit a lot easier.
Yes, yeah, you guys were building things so quickly.
Carrying logs and everything is just so much easier. But so I was busy streaming on Twitch, and one of the viewers was like, "Oh hey, can I join you guys with VR?" And I thought he was joking. I was like, "Yeah, sure. Like, here's my Discord, whatever." And then he joined, and he was actually playing with VR to the point where I could see his in-game model. The hands were moving like his hands.
Oh, wow.
It was actually hilarious because then he would pick up like. You'd have a club, for example, with a skull in it, and you'd have his lights, and you'd try to light the skull because he's got that level of control over it.
That's so cool.
I just thought, shit, like it's so interesting that sort of stuff excites me, and that I can play what I'm playing, but the fact that someone can just join me in VR is really cool.
Yeah, I had no idea that it was like cross.
That's maybe a thing you should try. Like after Alyx, just give it a bash. See how the VR support is in the forest.
Because I knew it had VR support, but I had no idea you could play like desktop and VR people together.
Yeah.
I thought it was, wow, that's awesome. I kind of want to, I mean, listen, the forest is terrifying, so I don't know if I'll play that game alone in
playing
VR.
That alone in VR, but if you ever want to
God.
pop into our game one day and just get your VR up and running.
Because good lord, the caves in VR will terrify the shit out of me.
Yeah, but just we were having a laugh because there's something about the fact that he had complete control over his arms and limbs in VR. The stuff that is like him swimming, it looked like he was drowning because his arms are like.
I kind of want to feel that, and because now I feel like I've gotten my VR legs a bit settled in, like moving around in first person and stuff. So I'm keen to try that.
So for those of you who don't know, we just kind of skipped it, but I think we've spoken about the forest several times. But
that was like years ago when I played it.
Years ago, yeah. In case you don't know what it is, it's I suppose like an indie / double A. It's not a double A.
It's
like
more
a full-on indie title, where the premise is you crash land on an island. You're on a plane. It crash lands on an island, and you wake up. You're alone, and your son is missing. And the whole point of the game really is to find your son and survive on this island that is full of these.
Is this the plot of Lost?
It sounds like Lost. It really does. Because there's some shit going on. You don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But you basically trying to survive on an island that's got weird shit happening on it. So it starts off as normal enemies, just like native people. Who seem
native
very
cannibals, essentially.
Yeah, native cannibals who really are just dudes running around at the clubs, for example, like trying to murder you. Soon translates into, no, there's something else happening on this island. There are actual mutants and weird... Yeah, I don't know. Like, how do you explain
like proper
Armsy?
body horror nonsense?
Stuff happening. So
like almost Lovecraftian sort of shit going on.
So if you play this game alone, it really is a horror experience in that you're the only person on this island. You're trying to survive. You're building up a camp. And I actually do want to play it alone at some stage. I do need to finish that game because I really enjoy playing it. But you can also play it with friends, which makes it a completely different experience in that you can still have moments of like, oh my God, but it's more like chaotic fun than horror.
Yeah.
It's more like, hey, like, let's go explore the caves. Like, it'll be a lot of fun to just mess around in there. Oh, let's go build a camp, do some shit together. And it becomes a lot easier to like when you're alone, I mentioned earlier, building a camp is you have to chop down trees and carry logs all by yourself. Whereas when we're playing multiplayer, it is, okay, 2 of us are going to stay behind and build a camp while the other 2 go hunt deer, for example.
Yeah, it's a very different pace to the game,
It becomes, but what we did to sort of balance it out was we're playing on the hardest difficulty. So you still have to be very careful, but we've been managing. I think we've had a few people down, but like we haven't all been wiped out, for example. But we're having a lot of fun, and I'm very keen to play more. And like it really has me itching to play it alone because I never have. And I think the forest is this very interesting premise in that if you play it alone or multiplayer, you're on this island and there's a whole cavern system and there's a whole story to play through.
Yeah,
like,
it's a very obscure story, but it's there. Yeah,
but it's there. So you will find helpful stuff in the caverns. You will find little bits of lore and pieces of story. And I think the whole point is to find your son and get off the island. And
there is an end. There definitely is a conclusion to the game. Yeah.
One part I've never experienced is that you can look one part of the island. It is like a snow-capped mountain, and I've never been up there. And I know that you do get gear to survive the harsher conditions. So, I think we'll get there eventually in multiplayer, but I would actually like to try it alone at some stage.
I do remember now why I don't recall having an issue with because you were having an issue with the game's brightness in nighttime.
Yeah.
So I remember now why it didn't really affect me, and it's because I was playing alone that I never stayed awake at night. Whenever it started getting night, I went into my cabin because that's when all the real fucking hectic shit comes, and I just slept and passed the time.
But so, as a matter of interest, does it just skip ahead to daytime? You don't have to like defend your camp or anything?
No.
I see. That's interesting.
So it skips ahead a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But you'll see when you wake up, like certain traps have been triggered,
stuff,
things like that. I mean, the creatures are coming into your camp. They're not coming to fuck shit up. They just want to kill you. So if they can't reach you, they kind of just leave you.
So that's my thing. I wondered is it ever possible in the game to be triggered like, oh, you being attacked, like you wake up in the middle of the night, you have to defend your island?
Now that you mention that, I feel like there is a mechanic like that. But again, I played this like 2 years ago, so I can't recall.
I mean, you sent me a link to an enemy you didn't even know existed.
Yeah, the Virginia. Oh, not the Virginia,
No,
that little bear thing.
Yeah.
I've
so maybe
never seen that in the game.
I'm sure they have been optimizing and adding stuff.
Yeah.
As a matter of interest, have you seen the trailer for the sequel?
Yes, I am very excited for that.
See, it's so interesting because this game I've had on and off for a long time, and I've never like played dozens of hours of it, but I'm very excited to see what's next.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I love it. I think it's one of those survival games that really nails its survival elements aren't annoying. They are there and they feed into the gameplay really well. And there's just like the sense of dread that you just have to do. Like,
I think
when you're playing with the group now, you've never been taken by the cannibals, right?
Oh no.
Like that will happen. Like if they down you or they kill you, instead of killing you, they'll take you into a random cave and string you up, and then you're like you're lost. You don't know where you are.
Where am I?
Yeah, and if you eventually escape the cave without dying, you'll come up and be on a part of the island you've never seen before, maybe. And like that's a whole different type of like tension. It's really good.
Yeah, I need to play it alone because it almost is like it's two separate games.
Yeah, I do feel like that. Yeah.
So
I think I said as much in my review back in the day. I'm like, if you're playing alone or you're playing with friends, it's a different kind of experience, and no one is worse than the other, but they are different.
No, I think you can have a lot of fun in different ways with both. So
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a wild cat behind you.
Oh, it's little Luna. She loves that blanket.
I just saw her jump there and she was like walking around, just chilling.
You can see her little ears. Oh, she's busy bathing now.
Yeah, I can see her little ears. She's doing her thing.
But yeah, other than the forests, I mean, that's the only new thing I played this week. I'm nearly done with Final Fantasy VII.
You think you're going to finish it this weekend?
I'll definitely finish it this weekend. I'll tell you, last night, I really thought I was going to finish it last night because having played the original, I know where the game ends off. And like, I know what should happen between...
Yeah, you fight that house and then it's done.
You fight the house and then the credits roll.
Yeah.
So there's some padding at the end, which I did not expect. And I know... I mean, I played from... I really thought I had like 2 hours left in the game. Like, no jokes. Maybe an hour or two. I played from 9 to 1 in the morning, and I'm still not done. And I was very, not frustrated, but I was a bit like, because I really want to finish it. I know I'm on the home stretch now. Like, without a doubt, I'm on the home stretch.
Yeah.
But it was 1 in the morning. I'm like, I'm running the next day. I kind of need to get to sleep. Do I just see this through? I think I'm nearly done, and they throw another 2-3 hours at me. I don't know how they would, but that's what I thought, like 4 hours earlier.
It's almost like that annoying thing. It's like you don't want to turn it off and turn it on, and you realize you had like 10 minutes left to play.
10 minutes, yeah. But the thing is, I thought I was at the end, and then it started a whole new chapter. I was like, okay, I know this must be the last chapter, but I don't know how long it will be. So I'm like right at the end, and yeah, still enjoying the game. I will say there is some padding. Particularly at the end, which I feel is a bit unnecessary.
Okay.
But overall, like, I 100% want to replay this game. We have a friend of the show, Frank, who's saying on hard mode, you can't use items and benches don't replenish your health and MP.
Yeah, which is bizarre. Like, I can't imagine not using items.
Yeah, which makes... but I don't know if that's in battle or... Like, I don't know. I don't know how it works, but it makes me think, shit, I really want to replay this game with that because it'll be a more challenging experience.
I've heard the ending is weird. Like, people are mixed on narratively what the ending does.
I mean, I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but for the most part, they keep the story beats similar. Like, they color in the little bits in between, but the way the ending's been going, there's been some stuff. For the most part, it follows the plot from the original, but there's some stuff thrown in and changed. And I'm like, I'm a bit torn on it. Like, I don't know if I like it or don't like it, but I'm still, I want to finish the game like, okay. But still, overall, this game is incredible. Like, I absolutely love it. And I get so excited thinking, what are they going to do with the open areas? Every time I play, like, I'm introduced to different, I mean, this isn't a spoiler. You get red.
Yeah. I know actually, he doesn't join your party. That's all I know.
He doesn't. You can't control him. Yeah, he doesn't join your party. But I'm like, he's one of many characters that are going to come in later releases of this game. Like, what are their strengths and skills, and what's that all going to be like? Because even just with these four, like, Aerith is great at casting magic, and she's got abilities that supplement that. Barrett is great at long range. Tifa and Cloud are great at being close.
I've heard Tifa is the most satisfying character to play as.
She's, oh my god, so the thing is, like, any game takes you like a good few hours to like sort of get a feel for it. Only in the last half of the game did I really get a feel for Tifa and understand how she works, and 100% is very satisfying to play as her.
Okay.
But with other parts of the game, you're going to get so many other characters, and I do wonder, like, how they're going to balance
everything, yeah.
Because at the moment, although you've got 4 characters, you never have any part of the game where it lets you form your own party. For story purposes, you only ever have 1, 2, 3 of the characters. You know,
and it's defining who those characters are.
Yeah, you're never forced to choose who you play. Yeah, but the next part of the game, you are going to meet other characters, and I do wonder, but it's not in a bad way. It's got me excited thinking how they're going to do it, because I really think they've nailed the first part of this game.
Do you see that traditional like wizard dude in this one? I can't remember if he's in 7.
Who's a traditional wizard dude?
That guy who's got like yellow eyes and in a blue.
What's the hat?
Yeah.
No, that's from Final Fantasy 9.
Oh, is that only from 9? I thought he was like one of those that just appears in all of them.
No. No, he appears.
He's cute. He's like a Final Fantasy Jawa.
Yeah, he's... Oh, yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. No, because in the first few Final Fantasies, that was the sprite for the mage, whatever. But the reason you see him in Final Fantasy 9 is because 9 is this, like, love letter to the entire franchise before it.
Okay.
So it's like a little nod to that, yeah. But yeah, I can't wait for you to play Remake, because I'm dying to hear your thoughts.
That is definitely next on the list. Definitely.
Yeah. Remake. So I'm going to wrap it up this weekend, and I'll talk more about it. Yes.
Sweet. Should we move into game releases or the lack thereof?
Are there game releases?
I think there's like a handful of them this week. Last week there was like 1. Wow, why is my browser taking 10 years to open? There we go.
10 years, damn.
10 years. I was born 10 years ago. No, I wasn't.
I was born.
So we're looking at game releases
what is coming out?
From May 9th until May... what? It would be May 15th. Wow, can you believe it? Halfway through May. It's going to be
this year's
halfway
going way
through
too
May.
fast.
There's a few games, nothing super noteworthy, I don't think. So we've got Deep Rock Galactic official launch on PC and Xbox One. I think this is a game that's been in early access for a while. But I've never really heard of it. So if you have, it's out on May 13th.
It's coming soon, yeah.
Then on May 14th on PC, Signs of Sojourner. Sojourner. That's on PC. Then we've got Iron Fury, which is that like old school Duke Nukem style shooter. It came out on PC last year, I think. It's out on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch on May 14th. Then on May 15th, Hatsune Miku Project Diva Mega Mix. Isn't Hatsune Miku that like digital celebrity in Japan?
I have no idea.
No
clue.
Hatsune Miku.
What's a Miku? That's a cool name.
Hatsune Miku is the name of a Vocaloid software voice bank developed by blah blah blah, and its official anthropomorph, a 16-year-old girl with long turquoise twin tails.
Okay.
So it's like a digital character with the sound bank.
Okay.
Oh my god, there's like live concerts of Hatsune Miku, even though she's not real.
Wow. Welcome to 2020.
That's pretty, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
is that it?
Yeah. So that's it. That's
okay.
It. Yeah. Should we move to news, I guess?
To news, yeah. I think
news was interesting this week.
Yeah, we had some interesting news this week. But I know in terms of releases, we have like The Last of Us 2 coming next month. Is it next month?
In June, yeah. It's about a month away now.
It's like that's the only AAA title at the and then Ghost of Tsushima the next month. But I don't know.
It's weird. Drying up.
It's weird to think that if this Corona thing doesn't sort itself out, there's going to be like nothing the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's we definitely seeing it. It's twofold. It's like, of course, the year before new consoles is always going to be dry, but it's even drier because it's like
worse now. Yeah.
Yeah, Corona. I mean, speaking on that, just in news, Nintendo had their financial results thing. Like their earnings call for the past financial year, and two things from there. Animal Crossing is selling like absolute wildfire. Yeah. It sold more than 1 million copies every day for the first 11 days it was on sale.
Look, we've touched on this before, but I think Corona has definitely had a part in boosting those sales.
Definitely.
But I do think the game would still be highly successful regardless.
Yeah,
but I
mean,
it would be interesting
crazy
to see an alternate reality where there was no Corona and how well it would sell. Because I do think people being in lockdown or isolated have thought, I really need something to play. Animal Crossing seems like a good escape.
Oh, definitely, But I also think it's hit like the zeitgeist.
Yeah, no, definitely.
There are celebrities playing that game. Like there was that story, I think it was last week on Twitter where Elijah Wood contacted some random person on Twitter because they had a good turnip price and like visited their island and stuff like that. It's like shit like that is like super cool. But yeah, it's in its first 6 weeks, it's already outsold the lifetime sales of like every other Animal Crossing game, and it's continuing to sell
by like two or threefold sometimes.
It's like it's hit like 13.5 million around there already just in its first 6 weeks. So no one can stop Tom Nook.
No one can stop Tom Nook. Looking at this article now, I think Pokemon Sword and Shield is like the next, the like a big seller for the Switch. That sold 17.37 million copies. Animal Crossing isn't far behind. It's like 4 million copies behind, and it's only been out for 6 weeks.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the name Pokemon on it. Like Pokemon is like Nintendo's bread and butter. So yeah, it's I mean, even Nintendo said in their report that they were surprised by how much it's latched on. So that's cool. Other news there is that the Switch has now sold 55 million consoles, which is staggering.
It's outsold the Xbox One, I think.
Well, we don't know because Microsoft never tells us how many Xbox Ones they've sold.
But I'm sure the last figure I saw, the Xbox One was on like 40 or 50 million.
Yeah, around about there. There were estimates around about that. So I wouldn't be surprised at this point because the Switch is
the Switch is just over 2 years old.
3 years old.
Is it 3 years old?
Yeah,
sorry,
2017, yeah.
But that's insane. If it's got another 3 years left in it, I mean, it's going to pass 100 million.
Yeah, and Nintendo notes in that report that they don't even see it as halfway through its life cycle. So
no, I mean, even the Switch Lite, which has been out less than a year, is on 6 million. And remember, that's like a supplementary console for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's really it blows my mind. Like I knew the first year would be strong because like Zelda and Mario, but Nintendo have said that during this past like 4 months, just with Animal Crossing and Pokemon coming out, they've reached. I mean, they were breaking records. They were selling more consoles than they were at launch. It's crazy. It's just crazy. They did warn though in their reports thing that because of the ongoing effects of Corona, that they are having to shift their release schedule around, so that you should expect. They literally say, looking at Pokemon and Animal Crossing, you shouldn't expect big releases on that, to that caliber, if Corona continues. So,
well, I mean, when's the next Direct?
Well, again, so they said they're not having one in June during E3, and that they'll come back at the end of summer, so like August. So that's still far away.
But I mean, Nintendo have been really good with mapping out the Switch. Always, like it's 6 months in the future, like, okay, there's a big release every month, whatever. Now it feels like there's just Animal Crossing and there's nothing in sight at all.
Well, there isn't. I mean, there's like no first party game.
Thankfully, Animal Crossing is like carrying Nintendo through.
Literally, yeah. And they could supplement it because they've got like an expansion coming out now for Pokemon. And I assume they're going to keep adding content to Animal Crossing. So they could supplement these two games really well to mask the fact that new ones aren't coming out. But
yeah. Well, good for Nintendo. The Wii U was a bad time. I'm glad the Switch has swung things around for them.
Yeah, they definitely have recovered from the Wii U. They are like... They have multiple first-party exclusives now that are well over 10 million copies sold, and not one game, I think, on the Wii U ever reached that point. So
really, shuts.
So yeah,
bad time.
Good times for them. The big news of this week was Microsoft's first, what they're calling Xbox 2020 Xbox Inside thing. So essentially, Microsoft has said they're going to be hosting these Inside Xbox streams once every month in the run-up to next-gen launch. And this one was the first look at third-party games. So not exclusive games that most of them shown are coming to PS5 as well. And a lot of them were also, if not most of them, were cross-generational. As well. So I know sentiment on the event is like people were a bit disappointed because they were like, well, this doesn't look like next gen. And it's like,
no.
Yeah, because most of the games are coming to current gen as well.
Yeah, I think that's a disappointment though, is that they did tout it as like it's the first look at next gen gameplay. And
Definitely.
For the most part it was like, nah.
Yeah, I think Aaron Greenberg from Microsoft even came out and said that they miscommunicated the event and set expectations incorrectly. So that's definitely on Microsoft for hyping this up as the big, first look at next gen gameplay, and then when people are like, this doesn't look that next gen, then. But there were some cool things.
I mean, but the only game that to me seemed very next gen and that it was like very. Not like pretty to look at, smooth frame rate was the first thing they showed, that Bright Memory
Infinite Bright Memory Infinite.
It looked like lifelike, ran smooth. I was like, damn, that looks really pretty. So they started the show with that, and then everything after was like, that's kind of what we have now already.
If I'm not mistaken, Bright Memory Infinite is only on next gen. Yeah, so it's actually developed by a single person in China, which blows my mind.
Okay.
And you can actually get a taste of it now. So essentially, Bright Memory was meant to be like this episodic thing, and they launched the first chapter last year. But then the developer scrapped that idea and now is working on Infinite, which is like its own, own complete thing. The weird thing is that you can buy Bright Memory Chapter 1 on Steam now for 80 Rand, and you'll get an upgrade to Infinite when it comes out. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can basically buy Bright Memory Infinite right now for 80 Rand,
on PC,
which is ridiculous. But that game looks cool. It's billed as like a mix between a first-person shooter and Dark Souls, which, I'm super into that.
That sounds cool, yeah.
It looks really good as well. It's like very, very pretty. Then we've
Yeah.
got to look at Dirt 5, which is cool. I love Dirt. Dirt Rally is the more simulation type thing. I'm not super into that, but Dirt, like the numbered Dirt games are pretty cool. They're more arcadey. They remind me a lot of like Forza Horizon type vibes. Very cool. What's weird is that there's a story mode in this game, and you're gonna have Nolan North and Troy Baker in there.
It's all about family.
Good lord, could you imagine Vin Diesel's just there? He's like, doesn't matter if you lose by a meter or a mile. Wait,
There's nothing more
did he
important
say a meter and a mile? Those are two different metric systems, or
I
two different measurement systems.
I know, but still, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't
Fucking
watched
Fast
the
and
past movies
Furious.
for many years, so. Yeah, but we've got Dirt 5. We got just before we mention the next step. Did you find that a lot of these games shown were very dark?
Yes,
Like,
yeah, Jesus. It was like at some
holy
point I was
shit.
just like, is Microsoft just like a horror game studio? Like, are they just
Yeah.
showing off?
Because then
Yeah.
they showed the next game they showed was Scorn,
Scorn was hardcore. Holy shit.
which again, a lot of the stuff, like they said, you're going to see next gen gameplay. A lot of the stuff was just trailers. So look,
Yeah.
not to take away from Microsoft, they showed a lot of new IPs, which is cool. Like there's a whole lot of new games coming. But then some of the trailers they showed, this Scorn was dark AF. I was like, what the hell is
It was
this game
like-
about? What is going on? I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
Some Victorian body horror. Also, like
Holy
the
shit.
article I'm reading here on GameSpot describes it as something reminiscent of Ridley Scott's Prometheus, and yeah, except more like bloody and dark and ugh,
Yeah.
like just
So
gross.
There was that, and there were several other games I was watching, going like, "Damn, Xbox are getting real edgy."
Yeah,
for
they're
next gen.
they're really going in on that edgy.
Jeez, like,
But like
yeah.
you said, there was very little gameplay to a lot of these things, which is part of the reason why there was, concern over how Xbox built it. But yeah, so just on Dirt 5, it's using smart delivery. So very quickly, smart delivery is what Microsoft is calling their backwards compatibility program, essentially. So basically,
which is really cool.
it is very cool. It's like you do not buy a game for a platform, you buy the game for Xbox. And then depending on whether you play it on Xbox One or Xbox Series X, it will serve you the best version of the game for that hardware. But you will also not have to buy the game again.
Rebuy it, yeah.
Yeah. So like Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out on Xbox One in September. And when the Series X launches, it will just work on Series X and you will be served the updated textures, or if they add ray tracing or stuff, it will just work on there. You won't have to buy the package again.
Goodbye remasters. potentially.
Thank God. Yeah. So a lot of these were announced for that. And obviously, Sony hasn't really detailed what their approach is to that sort of thing. So, don't know. Then we got
yeah.
Chorus, which was like a... Yeah, that was weird. It looked like a V, but it's definitely a U. Like it's chorus. It's not Corvus. I don't know. It's like
Is this
space shooter.
This is made by Deep Silver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Which are the people who did Saints Row.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, no,
which is
that's
interesting.
Volition. Deep Silver was the publisher.
Is that the publisher? Okay. Okay.
But this
Okay,
looks
'cause I
cool.
was
It's
like-
like your
yeah.
spaceship, and your ship is sentient.
Yeah. It's like
So-
Knight Rider in space.
Oh my God.
Think
You're
about
right.
that for a second.
You're right.
There better be some David Hasselhoff DLC here.
And that good music. Oh my God.
Good
so
music.
good. So good. Then we got Madden 21.
Yeah.
If you like football. It also this one was weird because everyone thought it was using smart delivery, and then EA came out being like, yeah, but only if you purchase the game within the I think it's like the first 3 months of it being out will you get the upgrade for free. Turns out it isn't smart delivery at all, because then everyone was thinking, oh, is Microsoft putting like time limits on the smart delivery stuff? Because that like would be really shit. But it turns out it's just EA being EA, and they're doing their own thing, and this is what you get.
But just on this quickly, when it comes to these directs and digital shows, whatever, or even just E3 in general, I don't know why they put such an emphasis on always having some person from the sport talking shit.
Oh God!
Like
yeah.
every gamer knows it's like you've been paid to sit there. You don't need it. Just be like, here's Madden.
Yeah.
Show us the game.
Yeah.
But there was some NFL player like, yep, can't wait for this game to come out. I'm so excited. I'm like, okay.
Okay,
That's
cool. Thanks, man. Thanks,
I
guys.
half expect
Just want to see the game.
Pele to come out. Like, yeah.
Fuck, that was the worst. I was there
I'm
in person
excited
and
for-
I hated life.
Yeah. Like, I love Pele, but what is this?
Yeah, what? Yeah, God. He was there for like half an hour. It was ridiculous.
Like, stop it. Okay, so NFL 21.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, which is the longest, stupidest name ever, but the game
It
looks
is.
pretty good.
The trailer was real cool. I enjoyed
Yeah.
this trailer.
Yeah,
like a good
I've never
time.
played Vampire the Masquerade, so but this looks cool. So I'm into
There's
it.
what is that one game that came out? Oh, We Happy Few. There's something about this aesthetic that reminds. There's something about Bloodlines that aesthetically that reminds me of We Happy
That whole
Few. There's
stretched
something-
face thing.
Yeah, there's something about the faces. I just couldn't think of
Definitely.
it at the time, but it just came to me. Oh, We Happy Few had it's a very similar aesthetic in my eyes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Call
This
of
was
the
like
Sea.
one of the most colorful games on show there, Call of the Sea, which looked really cool. Oh no.
What happened?
Oh, you were drinking. I was like, because I'm not watching the videos. I was like, oh no, did you
You
disconnect?
died.
Call of the Sea, that like bright adventure game set in the 1930s, where you're like sailing and stuff. It was very colorful and I liked it a
Yeah.
lot. It looked really nice.
Ascent.
The Ascent, which is like a twin stick shooter cyberpunk game, that looked cool.
Boo, boo, boo.
Looked like something Housemarque would make.
Yep.
I think one of the most interesting things at the show, the Medium, which looked awesome. So it's like a woman who can shift between two worlds, like a demonic world and the actual world, which looks like it's set in Russia. It's made by the people who made Blair Witch and The Observer. I didn't like Blair Witch at all.
Okay.
But Observer apparently is pretty good. So this is also
think-
one that is only on next gen because it's like an open. I don't know if it's open world, but I know that they build the ability to shift between these two worlds at the press of a button without any loading screens is a big thing. So that seems like
that's pretty cool.
yeah, that seems like a thing that will make use of SSDs. Then things got real fucking anime for a while. Scarlet Nexus.
Oh god.
Made by Bandai Namco is like super anime. It looks like a
It's
Devil May Cry,
incredibly anime.
like action, a character action
Playing.
game. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And you've got psionic powers, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Second Extinction.
I really like the enemies in Scarlet Nexus. They're like look like monsters, but then they got like roses growing from them. It's like
yeah.
really interesting aesthetic.
Like what is going on?
Yeah. Second Extinction, which is what, like a dinosaur shooter?
Yeah, it was.
You answer
I
a
think
dinosaur with guns before anyone
No,
asks. You're
it's
shooting
a
the
three-
dinosaurs.
I think it's a 3-player like dinosaur hunter game. But it looked stupid, but it looked like stupid fun.
So like Dino Crisis, but not Dino
Like
Crisis.
Dino Crisis. It looked like it's a sort of game I think I'd enjoy.
Yakuza Like a Dragon, which if you aren't familiar, so Yakuza 6 finished the story of fuck, I forgot his name now.
That
Damn
guy,
it. That guy.
some dude. Yeah.
This is Yakuza 7 essentially, and is a brand new character, brand new cast, and also brand new style of gameplay. So it's no longer like a brawler; it is a turn-based strategy, like action game, sort of like Persona. So I'm super fucking into this, and it's coming to Xbox Series X at launch, which is a big deal because
Which is
Yakuza
it's-
games traditionally came to Sony platforms first.
Also, Yakuza Japanese games traditionally launch on Sony Japanese
I mean,
console.
Yakuza 0 launched on PS4 last year, and it was a big deal that it was only on PS4, and it's since come to PC and Xbox, but like it was the big thing that Yakuza's came out on PS4 first. So
Yeah.
this is Microsoft showing their hand and being like, "Fuck you."
Aha. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how they pulled it off, but they did somehow.
And then Assassin's Creed Valhalla with inverted commas gameplay.
The calling it a gameplay debut is a stretch. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Because when they said gameplay debut, I was like, okay, we're going to get one of those typical like 5-10 minute demonstrations. Like, here's a vertical slice showing a little bit of actual gameplay. But instead, all we got was in-game stuff, which is fun.
Yeah,
But don't call it a
in-game
gameplay
rendered
trailer.
stuff, which is beautiful,
Yeah.
but it was like 45 seconds and didn't really show how the game works.
No.
So I'm like, okay.
There's no combat, no. I was like, okay.
People
calling it
were
gameplay
rightly
really
pissed
is a
off.
stretch.
Yeah, people were rightly pissed off and disappointed, and I think the game's director actually came out and apologized for that. So
Yeah.
awkward.
Okay. But that was
Um,
inside Xbox. Oh,
should we-
they did say that July will be their where they
Yes,
show
their first party stuff. What's
which
interesting is
that's
that they
the one
are
to keep an eye on.
definitely hosting something in June, but they aren't talking about what's there.
I think it'll be Series X focus, like the actual
Yeah.
console.
I think
Maybe
think a lot of people are saying that's
launch
where they're
and
going
price
to
and
announce price and release
Yeah.
date and stuff, and
Yeah.
that makes sense because that's when E3 would have been. So
E3.
yeah, but as a lot of people in the industry are saying, so many of these plans are still in flux because like coronavirus is changing things day by day.
Yeah.
The original plan was to have first party stuff shown at this May event. So yeah, things change.
Okay.
I'm
Things-
looking to see if there's other interesting news.
There's a Mass Effect remaster, I think.
Oh yeah,
trilogy.
as part of EA's, I think it was an EA earnings call or something like that as well. They mentioned the possibility of Mass Effect HD remaster possibly coming out next year and being announced very soon.
Which is cool because I've never played Mass Effect, so
Yo, they're good. If they manage to make Mass Effect 1 not feel as aged as it does now, that'd be awesome.
but it's a remaster though, so I don't know what sort of changes they're planning on incorporating.
I would. I mean, I'd love to just play a better looking Mass Effect 2 and 3 because I think those games still hold up really, really well.
Still real good.
They also, I think they also mentioned that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is the first entry in a franchise, so we definitely are getting more of that.
I kind of figured, but cool.
Yeah, kind of figured, but
I'll happily take a sequel to that game.
yeah, there's confirmation for you that we're definitely getting more Cal Kestis. I actually
Cal
started playing that
Kestis.
game on PC because it was cheap on Epic Games. It's way better on PC. My God.
It's way better.
Yeah, it just
Like,
feels
without a
smoother.
doubt.
Yeah, without a doubt, just feels smoother. Like all the issues I had with it on PS4, like where I couldn't get
The
parries
low
right and
times.
stuff. Yeah, the low times. Holy shit, night and day difference. So
Yeah.
yeah. Is there
Yes, I
anything
think-
else that
there's-
really
There's
piqued your
bits and
interest?
pieces like Apex Legends has Season 5 coming. There's a new character. So in Cyberpunk 2077, they announced you'll be able to customize your genitals.
Oh yes, yeah.
it's a
The
fun
ESRB. It was like their rating for the ESRB, and it was like,
That's
yeah,
so
your
funny.
character creator, you can choose the types of
can-
genitals you
You can
have.
get in there. Good
There's going to
lord.
be lots of first-person sex scenes. So cool.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, there was some
but I
scenes
think-
they described in that rating which made me squirm a bit. Like, what was the one? You basically take part in like what seems like a crucifixion, which seems pretty fucking intense.
Yeah, I think Cyberpunk. CD Projekt Red aren't a studio to shy away from mature content. So I am curious to see what kind of shit we're going to see in Cyberpunk.
I'm amazed that this game isn't being censored in Australia. It's
Yeah, I don't know how.
I don't know how. But I think that's
Yeah.
most of it, eh? So
Yeah.
it was
Get
mainly a week where
questions.
everyone just kind of like waited for Xbox to do stuff.
And Xbox did some stuff, but not quite the stuff we wanted them to do.
Essentially, yes.
Take that.
Take that. Haha.
Aha. Okay.
Cool. Questions. If you want to send us questions, you can email us at checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet us at checkpointchat, Instagram us at checkpointchat as well. Facebook.com/checkpointchat is that page you can go to. I don't know if Matty puts out tweets anymore on Twitter. I don't see
I
them.
do. I always do.
You're lying to
You
me.
mean you don't know if I put out tweets? Go look at that tweet. You got no replies.
I'm on Twitter.
No replies
I'm on
this
Twitter. I'm not on Twitter during the day anymore. So, yeah, that's
Oh,
probably why.
Okay. Missing all the good stuff. Okay, so we have a good few questions over on Instagram. We have another question in Russian from Poikin, and I actually cannot translate it. Sorry, because I cannot copy this text. So, Poikin, if you do listen, I'm really sorry that we cannot answer your question.
Sikje blat.
Sikkebliet. Oh God, I think we just swore in Russian.
Oh, is that a swear?
I think.
I just know it's a Counter-Strike thing.
Suka is bitch, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay. I apologize. Sorry.
Or one of them. Yeah, Sakkebliet, I think, is like a rude swear word.
Like a son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. Okay, Free to Frank on Instagram says, when are we getting a live episode via Twitch or YouTube?
Huh. I don't know. I mean, we could. It would probably even be easier remotely because we could just.
Yeah.
You could just stream our Discord chat essentially.
Yeah, I have thought. But then do I now make a whole Checkpoint Chat Twitch page? Do I just do it on my page just for convenience? I don't know.
We could do it maybe for the 100th episode, just as a hey,
What's up, come celebrate.
Yeah, we're testing this out. Drinking beer at 9 a.m. to celebrate.
Oh, we're getting wasted.
Yeah, exactly. And you could just stream it on your page or something. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
One day. Maybe we'll think about it. So that's all we have on Instagram. But over on email, we have many, many, many questions. Did we? I think we got one from Malesh exactly a week ago. I don't think we answered it.
Yes, yeah, because because we recorded on Friday and he sent it through on Saturday.
Okay, we missed it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So Malesh says, I was wondering about your Poro heritage. How many generations are your families in South Africa and how fluent is your Portuguese? It's a question I get asked often here, especially from my Indian brethren when they realize I don't sound like them. One guy didn't know how to ask and came up with the question, what is your origin?
That's a cool way to ask that, yeah.
Yeah, what is your origin? That's when I give my origin username, Heritage605. Let's play FIFA together.
Oh my God. My parents were both born in Portugal, so I'm first generation South African, because I was born here.
Yeah.
But they were born there. I can understand a lot of Portuguese. I cannot speak it to save my fucking life.
Yeah.
But that's basically it. I've got loads of family in Portugal. Most of them.
Tons.
Well, actually, the entire side of my dad's family is still in Portugal. So.
Oh shit.
But yeah. But my mum she grew up in South Africa. She came here as a kid. My dad only came here when he was 19, I think. So.
Yeah, your dad still has a bit of a Portuguese accent,
and he's still. Yeah, he's still. It's interesting because he learned English basically through friends here. He never studied English at all, whatever. So,
but I mean, that's the same. So both sets of my grandparents are actually from Madeira, little Portuguese island. But then my dad was also born there. Came here. I think he was also early teenager, maybe 12, 13. But my mom was born here.
Oh, is it? Okay, so, I didn't know that. I thought she also came from Portugal.
No, her parents came from Portugal, but my mom was actually born here in South Africa. So, I mean, does that make me
1.5 generation?
Yeah, what is that? But my dad was the same in that I think he just learned English here. I mean, he grew up in Madeira, this tiny...
And did he also, still struggle with things speaking-wise?
No, I think I never had trouble understanding my dad, or did I ever think he had an accent at all. And it's not a knock against your dad, but I do still hear there's a hint of an accent.
Oh, no, definitely, yeah. No, definitely. And he still makes mistakes here and there where I'm like, what?
I don't think my dad had that.
Okay.
I think about it now, yeah. But, I don't know. His English was fine, as far as I know. So, yeah. That's
I visited, actually, your family house in Madeira. Is that where he grew up and
that's
stuff?
Where my dad grew up,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Well, not the house you were inside. There's a house... a rundown house in the backyard, which is the actual.
Okay.
It's like ruins.
Yeah.
It's the roof's caved in, the roof walls have fallen over. That's the OG house.
It's really it's a really cool place there because it's so quiet. It's no one's there and you're on the mountains. It's kind of awesome.
It's proper it's rural Madeira, but it's
beautiful.
Nice balance of it's rural in that it's just quiet, but it's still got.
Stuff, yeah, and you can still get to main city Madeira in 20 minutes.
Yeah, just catch one of them buses.
Fuck.
Oh,
Speaking of that, that drive up to your house, you weren't with us, but that dude was fucking motoring up those hills, and I was terrified.
That is Madeira. You should go on a bus next time you're there.
Fuck. Oh, the bus from the airport. Holy crap. Oh my God. The way he was taking some of those corners on like cliff faces.
Okay, but imagine you were in like a van going up those hills.
Yeah.
Now imagine going up them in a bus.
Nah, fam.
Those bus drivers.
Nah, fam.
Oh, insane.
Sure.
Okay. So we actually have a few more questions from Alyx who he sent this week now. It says, so I was wondering what your guys' threshold is for being stuck in a game. That point where you decide, fuck it, I'm checking a walkthrough, or even worse, dropping the difficulty to easy. I realized lately for me, it's not an issue of skill. I believe I can beat the level I'm stuck on eventually. It's really a matter of how much time I wish to spend on this game. So for the most part, we know, I mean, I've spoken at length about how I enjoy challenging games. Like I'll play Celeste for hours on end just to beat A level or whatever. I'll play Dark Souls and Bloodborne, those kinds of games, because I do enjoy the thrill of beating a challenge. But that's a particular kind of game I'm willing to give the time to. When I played Doom Eternal, that's the most recent example, it was a thing of I knew I could beat the game on a harder difficulty, but I didn't really want to commit that extra time to doing it. So I did drop the difficulty to normal. And like, it wasn't a thing of me being like, oh, like the game's hard. It was hard, but I just was like, I want to commit a fixed amount of time to this game. I'm enjoying it, but I only want to finish it this way, like once.
Yeah.
So I just dropped the difficulty, and I still had a really great time. Like it still gave me a good challenge, and I saw the end of it. So yeah,
I think Doom's a good example because I've had the same feeling with the 2016 version where I've played it on like a normal difficulty, and I know what that feels like. And when I try to ramp it up, I've since finished it on a higher difficulty, but initially when I started, I was dying a lot, and I was like, I don't feel like this is Doom anymore, because it's like it was a lot of like slower, like a lot of deaths, so the pace just felt like all over the place and stuff. So it just didn't feel right anymore.
Yeah, that was my thing, where Doom for me is this power trip. And when I started dying too many times, I was like, I don't really want to experience it like this.
It messes with the flow. I think it's hard to like quantify what that feeling is, but as soon as the game starts feeling like almost like work, then I kind of like step away. And it's part of the reason why I haven't finished Sekiro, because I just got to a point in that game where I was like, I'm playing this game for hours and don't feel like I'm making progress. And there's other games I want to get to. So
yeah, there was actually a great article by, I don't know if you saw, Marco Swanepoel on Essay Gamer.
Yeah.
He wrote about his experience with Sekiro, about how he went back to it like 2 or 3 times and gave up. And now in March, I think with lockdown, he sat down and took the time to finish them, and how he felt like so elated that he finally pushed through that barrier. And I think it's the same for everyone, where it's a difficult thing balancing time and difficulty. But I think even you, if you were to say you do finish Final Fantasy VII and you're down at your backlog, you do have the time to pick up Sekiro, you will obviously enjoy the benefit of getting through to the end. I mean, you know that. You've played Bloodborne, for example.
Yeah, definitely.
You shelved it and you came back to it, and then you got further than you did before.
Yeah, exactly. So I know I'll definitely have that moment with Sekiro. It's just like finding the time and having to go back.
It's a time. It's 100% a time thing, and I acknowledge that as I get older. Now this scares me, because I'm still a young spring chicken in that there aren't many games that I can't finish. I don't think. Like, I don't want to say that and someone's like, well, try finish this game, and it's like the hardest game ever made. But like, I'm proud that I've been able to finish Celeste and Dark Souls and all these difficult games. But I do acknowledge that.
And you do make them look a lot easier than they are.
No, but I mean,
you do.
What you guys don't see is the trial and error that goes into all of that shit.
True.
I mean, I share a 1-minute clip on Celeste and Mario Maker. Everyone's like, wow, you're so good at this game. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't see the hour or 2 hours it took to get this run. Like, hello. But I am someone who does plan on having 1 or 2 kids one day, and I do acknowledge that there's going to be less time, and I will have to be like, let me just load the difficulty, or I actually don't have the time for this. So
I also just like there are games where it's like everyone's like, oh, you should play Call of Duty on a harder difficulty. And I'm just like, it's not fun. It's like there are games with a higher difficulty just doesn't feel fun.
Yeah, that's a game of difficulty. I'm like, I actually don't
Yeah.
appreciate that kind of difficulty.
I play that thing on normal. It feels like a popcorn action flick, and it's fine. Like the extra challenge in a Call of Duty is actually just frustrating because I just feel like I'm being shot from fucking everywhere, and it's just not fun.
People just spawn. Okay, so last question from Alyx. She says, "Hey guys, checked out the Dreams demo this week and was blown away by the games they had on display. So I was wondering, Alessandro, you studied game dev, right? I know finding the time to do this kind of thing on the side is hard, but have you considered checking it out? In case you missed it, there's a demo and it's on special."
So we actually have a
Also-
copy of Dreams.
Do you have it?
Yeah,
I
I've
think
got
you've
it. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't
It's on
realize
that-
the
it's on that-
question wasn't finished.
I don't know. So that's the question, but there's a separate part. It says, also, to answer your question about COVID in Oz, there are less restrictions here. Shops could remain open if they could prove social distancing was possible, so small stores had to close. Restaurants could do takeout only, and McDonald's and K-Swizzle, that's the right way to
K-Swizzle.
pronounce KFC, are drive-through only.
Oh, they're actually doing
We were always-
drive-through. Okay.
We were always able to go for walks, jogs, but it was only with people of your household.
Okay.
Ironically, I went through a similar journey as my South African brethren as a result of reduced pay. Was forced to quit smoking again.
Hectic.
Cigarettes, though still available, cost 450 Rand a box here.
A box.
Takeaways cost
Holy
3 times whatever it does
shit.
in South Africa. So a Big Mac meal there's 130 Rand. So those were the first two things we had to cut out.
Wow.
Also, I now have to contend with ads in Spotify because I whacked that sub. Otherwise, all good here as always. Thanks for keeping me entertained on my Tuesday morning.
God damn, 450 Rand a buck. That is wild. Holy shit.
It's amazing though when it's like, I'm really sorry to hear that you've had to cut down. on stuff,
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's
very
amazing
sorry that this
how-
has affected you financially as well.
Yeah, but it's amazing how when you do bounce back, you probably be more mindful of the money you do spend haphazardly. I mean, I know I do. With lockdown, I've saved a lot of money purely on less travel, less eating out.
Same. Yeah.
And just in general.
Same.
Like I saved more money last month than I probably have in the last 3 years.
It's like this
because I
has
just
really shown
couldn't
me how
spend
much money I waste on buying lunch at work. It's actually obscene, and like when we do go back, I'm going to try and not do that because it was quite nice saving a lot of money last month. So
Yeah.
what was the first part of the question again? I forgot.
About Dreams.
Oh right,
So
yeah.
I think he was asking like, have you played Dreams? Have you tried
So
making any games
I've
in
got
Dreams
a
with
copy
game
of the
background?
game. I know that the demo, I think it came out this week. They released a trial, so they've like we forgot. Well, I didn't see this in news, but basically
I didn't see it either.
they've pre-selected some creations from players that you can try out, so you can't just like navigate any of them, and then you can play a portion of the single player campaign, Art Stream, I think it's called.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it gives you a nice taste of what's there. I do want to play Dreams. I know I need to sit down and give it a lot of time. I was listening to, when it came out, Vinny Caravella from Giant Bomb, who was just like, yeah, you spend hours and hours just being taught how all these tools work and being shown examples and stuff. So from a creation perspective, I need a lot of time. But if I just want to mess around with what people have made, I guess I could do that anytime, and I should give it a go. Because
I need to as
yeah,
well.
there are a lot of things that I've seen made in Dreams that just blow my mind, and I think the fact that it gives people a way to make these sorts of things without needing to know programming, just another way to make games, is awesome. So
It's incredible.
I'm not of the opinion that you need to be a master coder to make games. Like I don't give a shit. Like
I mean, the more accessible, the better.
if a game is fun, I really don't care how it's made.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do we have two?
I care if people are work to the bone to make a game, then I definitely care. I just want to put that out there. Crunch is bad.
Bad,
but I don't care
games
if you used Unity or Unreal or whatever. I could not care less.
Yeah. I mean, you could be like that dude who made, what's that game that we spoke about on Xbox, that first-person shooter?
Oh, bright memory.
You could be one person to make that game.
blows my
Somehow, I
fucking
don't know.
mind.
Holy hell.
It's the same with that
Okay.
old game, Dust and Elysian Tale, was also like one person.
Goddamn.
You never played that,
So-
did you?
I didn't know.
You would
So many
love
games
that
I haven't
game.
played.
You would love that game.
Goddamn. 2 questions from Keegan. He says, as a summon, where on a scale of Fat Chocobo to Bahamut would you rank Cello ZA? I'd rank him as
Fat Chocobo. I've never met Cello, so I don't even know what he looks like.
A fat chocobo, because he would just troll me. The fat chocobo summon in Final Fantasy VII is 100% like a hilarious thing in that it literally summons a fat chocobo who rolls around to knock back people and do damage.
That's amazing.
And there's a Moogle accompanying it that throws bombs.
Amazing.
It's like 100% just a fun, like, here's a weird summon that makes no sense, but we're putting it in anyway. So he's a fat chocobo.
Does it play the cool chocobo music?
Not with the summon, but the game has some great chocobo music.
It's honestly one of my favorite parts of Final Fantasy 15 is when you're riding the chocobo, and that music is so good.
Can I just point out, the music in Final Fantasy VII slaps real hard.
I've heard.
There are, yeah. Just play.
Have you been following from Kind of Funny? Oh, what's his name? The new host. Blessing. Yeah, Blessing.
Yeah.
God, I don't know why that, but he's been doing. He's streaming like remixes that he's doing of Final Fantasy VII's music. Very fucking cool.
That's cool.
He does like a remix of the Shinra theme, which is amazing. Yeah.
Good lord. That game itself has incredible remixes. Okay, next question. We've got so many to get through.
Cool. How much time do we have?
Next question from Keegan. We're over, but it's fun.
Oh, it's fun. Okay.
Okay. This is like a 3-in-1 email. It says, my plus-minus 10-year-old gaming keyboard that made delightfully clicky sounds and let me type without looking at the screen with no typos has lost the ability to insert full stop here.
Oh, no.
I'm now using Nicole's Logitech K330, which is nice, but it's not project green and red light red light all over. It does not project green and red light all over my desk.
Lame.
Damn it. If you had to buy a new keyboard and maybe also some new headphones to be comfortable wearing over glasses for about 25 hours a day, my functionality is key for remote work. What would you consider buying? I've got my eyes on a Razer bundle that seems a little pricey, but also looks pretty go.
I love this question because I love keyboards so much.
Oh boy. Tell us about the Ducky keyboard.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I've got a Ducky keyboard, which I fucking swear by. So it doesn't have lights. You can get ones with lights, but they get pretty pricey, and I honestly don't care so much about lights. So I just bought this normal Ducky keyboard. It was just over $1,000, I think. It's got blue Cherry MX switches. It's very nice. The thing that really, really I like is PBT keycaps. So most keyboards you'll buy use ABS plastic. Even your high-end Razer ones, all of them, I think there's only one Razer keyboard that uses PBT. But basically what it means is whenever you type in your keyboard, do you notice that after a while they start getting like this sheen to them? And it's like, because it's like your finger grease and whatever. So that's, ABS plastic is pretty bad at resisting that. PBT, you don't get that at all. It's like, got a rougher texture. It's far more durable. I just like them a lot more, and all Ducky keyboards use PBT keycaps. So you can always just replace keycaps. Like you don't have to buy a keyboard specifically for the keycaps, but whatever.
That's cool.
I like Cherry MX Blues because they're great to type on. They're also super loud. I love super loud keyboards. So I know there's one retailer in South Africa that does Ducky keyboards. You can Google them. I'm not giving them free advertising. They're really good. Other than that, I like Razer's keyboards as well. I know a lot of people don't. I think they're really cool. But Corsair also does phenomenal keyboards.
Logitech for life.
Logitech's keyboard, I mean, your one is good. My previous keyboard before the Stucky one was a Logitech one as well, which I liked a lot. Also a mechanical one. And their new ones use different switches. So you can actually get tactile and clicky ones. You can choose between them.
Get fancy.
So, yeah. I would, if you're using a keyboard every day, treat it as something you use every day and spend money on something that will be really satisfying and will last you a long time. So as for headphones,
oh God,
that's a can of worms, Sure. That could, there's so many options. There's so many options.
I know. I've researched this and I've asked you like a million questions. Yeah, there are a lot of options. It depends what you want as well. Like, do you want wireless or not? Do you want? But I suppose you want a good mic, but in my experience, headphone mics in general aren't great. Like
Yeah, they generally aren't great.
they're functional, but you're not going to get anything like amazing. Not in my experience.
I'm currently using the Arctis 7s from SteelSeries, and I like them because they're very comfortable with my glasses. They're wireless. The mic is okay. It's not fantastic, but they are very versatile. Before this, I was using the HyperX Cloud 2s, which I still think are more comfortable than the Arctis 7s. I think they were amazing. Those
are basically two you recommended to me.
Yeah,
well.
I still think, I mean, I got the Arctis 7s because they were on sale and they were wireless, which is cool, but I actually sold my Clouds, which is quite sad. They were by far my favorite headphones I've ever owned. Very nice headphones. Yeah.
Okay, next part of the question. Do you use your
Oh God, that was just the first part of the question.
That's the first part.
Oh,
do you use your current microphones for work meetings?
No.
Over headset mics? Do you or your co-workers notice any difference between each other? If yes, I just use my laptop's built-in mic.
I use either that
I'm a savage.
or my AirPods because they connect to my work MacBook. So, yeah.
Third part of the question. Push to talk, sign detection, or on-the-screen mute buttons during work meetings?
On the screen mute button.
Yeah, when I use Discord, I'm on push to talk, but work meetings, I just have the on-screen mute button. It's just easier.
I cannot believe people do not understand how mute fucking works. Like, I'm on a Skype call the entire day because that's how Discovery wants us to work. They want us to be on the Skype call the entire day so anyone can just talk and ask questions whenever. And I hear people eating, I hear people doing that. I'm like, just mute your mic. It's not that hard.
Goddamn. Yeah, no, it's not hard. Okay, we have 6 questions from Meg, so we have to. What are we on now? We really have to fly.
What's up, Migs?
Let's do these in 7 minutes. Yeah, how's it, Migs? As predicted by Matthew, here are 2 pictures of what is a knee chair and its benefits. Alessandro will definitely think it's crazy while slowly slouching into his Daytona-inspired gaming chair.
Hell yeah! I actually ordered a gaming chair. I did it.
Oh, did you?
I fucking pulled the trigger on that thing.
So, Megs, as a matter, this is a very interesting looking chair. Is it good for your lower back? Because, good lord, my lower back suffers.
Okay, describe this to me.
It is very weird because it looks like you're almost kneeling. There's like a knee pad where you put your knees, but then you have a bum support.
Oh, so it's almost like one of those things at gym.
This picture. Yeah, there's no like a back support, but you're almost kneeling, but you're like sitting.
Interesting.
So I don't know. It says it's good for your posture.
It's like an advanced kneeling bench at a church, almost.
Yeah. Okay, question 2. You're given an item that only people with extremely limited time left would get the opportunity to be chosen to receive.
What?
This item is Final Fantasy VII Remake, the complete saga for the PC. You can only play it on 2 conditions. 1, if you let any information about its contents known before the year of 2027, you will face bankruptcy and be banned from using technology for 1 full decade. Jesus.
That's horrible.
2, you have to either play the game to completion or give up before playing any other game.
I could do that.
Would you accept these conditions and why? Is it worth it? Yeah, I'd do that. No questions asked. I'd 100% do that.
Yeah, I'd probably do that. I would abide by the conditions of the contract because I don't want to be banned from technology for a year. But I'd do that. That sounds doable.
Yeah. We say that until things get real.
Yeah, you see, maybe there's no caveat for the job. It's like, oh, I need to review this game, but now I can't review it because I got to finish all the chapters of Final Fantasy.
Good lord.
So maybe I will come to regret this.
No, I don't think I would. So question 3. By now you guys are in the working at home flow with over a month of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be fine to continue doing this for 2 years, or do you crave to break it and return to the office with the possibility of being infected? 2 years is a bit of a stretch. And look, I love working from home, but I do miss the banter I get at the office with my colleagues being around me.
100%. I feel the same. Like I feel like as much as I like working from home, there is a component to human interaction which is good just from a workplace relationship perspective. That said, I would like the option to not have to come in 5 days a week and maybe come into the office once or twice a week.
Yeah, that I was just going to say a good mix would be appreciated.
Yes.
Even if you gave me one day a week to work at home, like even then, I'm like, cool.
That'd be
I can appreciate
fantastic.
that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
having an exclusive one or the other sucks, but a good mix would be great. But I know that's not going to happen, so I cry.
Yeah, I was hoping that this would be a showcase for companies like, hey, working from home really does work. But I do think people will still have issue with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Despite the past 6 weeks happening, and in my experience, you've told me your team's productivity is up.
Yeah, but
My team's been functioning without issues. So
yeah, but they still want us back in the office as soon as possible. I don't get it. Yeah.
Okay, question 5. Since we have virtual Formula One racing on television,
So cool.
thanks to iRacing, what about other sports such as golf or tennis? What sport would you like the professionals to participate virtually in, and why?
I think those are different because like iRacing and the Formula One simulation races that they've been doing, the difference there is that the game is very close to the actual experience of the racing.
Replicates, the actual experience.
Like you take out the assists and you kit out the drivers with steering wheels, and you are essentially highlighting the differences of skill through like actual gameplay. Whereas a game like tennis or even like FIFA, because I've seen some pro football players playing FIFA for fun against other pro football players, like it's not the same. Like they're not showcasing the skill in FIFA because it's a completely different experience, and I think that's what limits it.
I mean, probably the closest thing you would get to racing is if there were like the perfect virtual reality golf game that like 100% tracks your swing with like a physical club, like a VR.
Yeah, you need like a super accurate thing that calculates the swing and the power.
That could closely resemble the game, but a lot of other sports, like you've already said, like football doesn't replicate that. Tennis, maybe, I don't know.
Tennis.
Let's
put Serena Williams against Nadal or whoever.
Nadal, Federer, Djokovic, the Williams sisters. Put any of them playing Wii tennis against.
I'd fucking watch that. That would be fucking cool. I think.
It'd be hilarious. Good lord.
I did see yesterday the BBC Sport. They're going to be streaming some Rocket League esports league, which is incredible.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool. I mean, Rocket League itself is just an interesting thing to watch because it's football with rocket cars.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's such a cool concept. It's been a long time since
I think it's an entertaining spectator thing because it's fairly easy to understand. It's like ball goes in net. It's like soccer.
Ball goes in net,
So.
Okay, and last question. If you guys could, would you trade housing arrangements? As in, Matty lives at Alessandra's place and vice versa. Also the reason why.
No, because then Matty would be away from his wife and like that'd be awkward.
Assuming we could switch living situations. No offense, but I like my home.
Exactly. Home is like comfort. It's
Am I allowed to take Lupin and Luna with me? Probably not, because your dogs will murder them.
Yeah.
So, no.
So I'll have to adopt Lupin and Luna. Also, your place just has so many spiders, so I'm not going to fuck with that.
Listen, we haven't had... Wait a minute. Did you see... I don't know if we spoke about it. Did you see my footage last week of that hornet dragging that spider?
And then you told me what... I think we were playing Predator, and you told me that hornet like lays its eggs in the spider or something.
So yeah, for those of you who don't know, we I don't know how we sort of like, there's a dead spider, rain spider on the grass. Holy shit, there's something pulling it along.
And that thing was like a third of the spider's size and just chilling, pulling.
It was yanking it along. And I've since learned that what the hornet does is that it kills the spider, or doesn't kill it. Apparently the spider's just paralyzed but alive, which is terrifying.
Nature's horrible.
It drags the spider to its home, it lays eggs in it, and the larvae spawn and eat the spider.
While it's alive.
Nature
fucked up.
But we watched this hornet drag the spider across the backyard, up a wall, up a tree.
It kind of amazes me. Like it's literally like think of something that's like 3 times your size and you're just dragging it effortlessly like that. Like it's unreal.
Not only that, the fact that it could navigate. And like if you think of the perspective of this hornet being on a patch of lawn.
Every blade of grass is like...
And knowing exactly where to go. Yeah. I was like, I don't know.
It's bloody cool.
The Google Maps game is strong with that.
Speaking of nature being weird, I did see a video the other day. My dad sent it to me of this guy. I don't know if he farms hornets or something, or wasps.
I know.
But he basically found like a parasite in his wasps. So sort of like, like humans get like tapeworm or ringworm or something like that. Like a worm is living in you. So
Yeah.
the same had happened to this wasp, and he used very, very tiny tweezers to basically pull this massive white worm out of like not the scales, but like the layers of like this hornet. Like you can't even see it, and then he starts yanking at something, and he pulls out this like worm that's like thicker and bigger than the fucking wasp, and it's like, how is that living inside the wasp? Nature.
That
Gross.
must have been satisfying to watch, though.
It was quite, and the wasp must have felt so good after that. But holy crap,
hell.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Good Lord. Cool. That is all the questions. We made it.
We made it. If you
made it,
want to
fam.
send us questions like Migs and Keegan and Milesh and Frank and who's the Russian guy?
His name was Poikin.
Poikin. If you want to send us questions, hopefully in English, you can send it to us at Checkpoint Chat on Instagram, at Checkpoint Chat on Twitter. You can email us, checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. Doesn't matter what time of the week. Doesn't matter what day.
Doesn't matter.
Don't message us at 3 a.m, maybe. I don't know. My phone's on silent. I won't hear it anyway.
Matter. Yeah, my phone's permanently on silent, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So
all good.
send us all them questions. We are fast approaching episode 100. 2 episodes away. Can you believe it?
I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll think
and
about
hopefully there'll be some surprises at episode 100. We'll see.
Surprises. Oh, boy.
But it's been episode 98 of Checkpoint Chat. Remote episode. I think this is like 6th remote episode. I don't know anymore.
Shit, they're just starting to blur into one another,
I don't even remember what it's like to record with you here.
I don't even remember what your face looks like.
Yeah. Discord's all fuzzy. I can't see you.
It's all blurred. No.
Yeah,
but have a good week, guys.
Yeah, have a good week. There's no more long weekends. I cry. Yeah.
Holy shit.
But at least I don't have any review games, so I can play some other games. Hooray.
Play all the games.
Maybe next week we'll talk about playing Forest together, and I'll be in VR.
In VR. Oh, yes.
Sounds like fun.
Do it. Let's do it.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Episode 98.
Cool.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.